Buying your first rental property is exciting, but it can also be a financial minefield. One wrong move can cost thousands and put your entire investment at risk. In my case, a single mistake nearly wiped out $20,000 and almost ruined everything I'd worked for. That painful lesson taught me more than any book or seminar ever could. In this video, I'll walk you through exactly what happened, what I should have done differently, and how you can avoid making the same costly error. If you're planning to invest in real estate, or already own property, this story could save you a fortune. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a real estate reality check like this. 1. The purchase that seemed too good to be true. It all started with what looked like the perfect deal. A below-market property in a decent neighborhood, priced to move quickly. I was so eager to start my real estate journey, I jumped at the chance and rushed into the purchase without doing enough homework. I ignored red flags during the walkthrough, skipped getting a professional inspection, and trusted the seller's word on everything. On the surface, it seemed like I was saving time and money. In reality, I was walking straight into a financial trap that would soon explode in my face. 2. Underestimating rehab costs. The first major issue was renovation. I thought the property only needed light cosmetic updates, paint, flooring, and new appliances. But once I closed and got to work, deeper problems started to surface, like electrical issues, plumbing failures, and a leaking roof. Because I hadn't budgeted for those major repairs, my renovation costs spiraled out of control. What I expected to cost $5,000 quickly climbed past $20,000. That mistake alone nearly wiped out my savings and delayed getting the property rent ready by months. 3. Trusting the wrong contractor. I hired a contractor who came recommended by a friend but didn't check his credentials or past work. At first, things seemed to be moving along, but soon delays, cost overruns, and poor workmanship became constant issues. The contractor stopped showing up, left jobs unfinished, and demanded more money than we'd agreed on. By the time I realized what was happening, I'd already lost thousands. I had to fire him and start over, another expensive mistake that could have been avoided with better vetting. 4. Skipping a proper property inspection. One of my biggest regrets is skipping the professional home inspection. I thought I was being smart and saving a few $100s, but it ended up costing me thousands in surprise repairs that would have been uncovered earlier. An inspection would have revealed the outdated wiring, foundation cracks, and water damage that were hiding beneath the surface. Without that insight, I walked blind into a property that looked fine but was hiding major structural problems. 5. Ignoring local rental market research. I assumed that because the neighborhood looked decent, the rental demand would be strong. I didn't bother checking actual rental comps, vacancy rates, or tenant demographics. That lack of research led to months of sitting vacant with zero income coming in. When I finally found tenants, the rent I could realistically charge was much lower than what I had projected. My cash flow model was completely off, and I was barely breaking even after mortgage and maintenance costs. Research matters more than excitement. 6. Forgetting to factor in holding costs. Holding costs are one of the most underestimated parts of real estate investing. I didn't factor in the monthly mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and utilities I'd still be paying while the property was being renovated. Because of the delays and unexpected issues, I held the property for 6 months before renting it. During that time, I lost thousands just keeping the lights on, literally. It's a silent cost that eats away at your budget if you're not prepared. 7. Overleveraging without a backup plan. I used almost all of my available funds to buy and renovate the property, leaving nothing for emergencies. So when things went wrong, I had no financial cushion. I ended up maxing out credit cards just to keep things moving. Overleveraging works great until it doesn't. Not having a buffer was one of the worst decisions I made, and it turned a manageable challenge into a full-blown crisis. Always keep reserves for the unexpected, because in real estate, it's not if something goes wrong, it's when. 8. Poor tenant screening. After finally getting the property rent ready, I rushed to find a tenant. I didn't run a background check, skipped calling references, and let emotions override logic because I was desperate for rental income. The result? A tenant who stopped paying rent within the second month and caused property damage before finally being evicted. That added legal fees and more repair costs, dragging me even deeper into the red. Tenant screening is not optional, it's your first line of defense. 9. Trying to manage everything alone. I wanted to save money by managing the property myself. But between my full-time job, renovation chaos, and tenant issues, I was completely overwhelmed. Maintenance requests piled up, communication broke down, and my stress levels skyrocketed. Eventually, I hired a property manager, and things improved drastically. They handled tenant screening, rent collection, and repairs much more efficiently. I learned that sometimes spending money on help actually saves money and protects your peace of mind. 10. What I learned, and what you should take away. That $20,000 mistake almost ended my real estate journey before it even had a chance to take off. It was a hard pill to swallow, and there were moments when I wondered if I'd ever recover. But through all the stress, debt, and setbacks, I learned some of the most valuable lessons an investor can ever learn. Those mistakes, as costly as they were, taught me faster than any book, seminar, or mentor ever could. It was like being thrown into the deep end of the pool, and the only way out was to learn how to swim, or sink. Looking back, I can now see that the biggest lesson wasn't just about losing money. It was about understanding how quickly things can go wrong in real estate if you're not careful. That initial setback forced me to reevaluate my approach, change my mindset, and sharpen my strategies. I became meticulous about every detail. Proper property inspections, over-budgeting for repairs, thoroughly screening tenants, and building a financial cushion for the unexpected. I learned that no matter how good a deal looks on paper, you always need to prepare for the worst-case scenario. If you're just starting your real estate journey, I want you to learn from my failure. Don't repeat my mistakes. Take the time to properly research, plan, and structure each deal. Avoid the shortcuts, and most importantly, make sure you have a financial buffer so that you're not left scrambling when things go wrong. Real estate is a powerful wealth building tool, but it's crucial to go into it with a solid plan and a clear strategy. Learn from my pain, and you can skip the setbacks and head straight for the profit. Real estate is powerful, but it's not without risks. That $20,000 mistake almost took me out, but instead, it taught me how to invest smarter, plan better, and protect every deal going forward. I'm sharing this so you can avoid those pitfalls and grow your portfolio with confidence. If this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson from the trenches of real estate. Got your own horror story or close call? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear how you bounced back. If you are serious about building income streams like we do in real estate, then Tube Mastery and Monetization is what we personally recommend. Link is in the description.